Yeah, I mean, with me, I guess I didn't want to do something that was already being done as well, because I was obviously aware of the other content that Swami Aniruddha was doing and others were doing, and it's for the same reasons that he said, wanting to reach out to people. Guruji had clearly made that his intention for us. But I think it's also because I'm always, I would say maybe concerned is the wrong word, but just looking out for how Guruji is perceived in the world. What is the overall message that we as a mission are transmitting? And as we know, our music content is very popular. There's a lot of content that we put out there that is incredibly popular and reaches a lot of people, and I'm very happy for that. But I also feel like there's another side to Bhakti Marga and what we do and who we are as people. And I think that side doesn't always get shown. I mean, lectures happen all the time, but that's not the same thing necessarily as the conversations that I'm trying to have so far on my channel. And so, yeah, I really took it from there. I took it from the idea of knowing how much people wanted to listen in on conversations that I had been having in real life, and then just did it in front of the camera. And so far, that's how the content has been choosing itself. It's like I just find the people that I talk to and say, let's do it in front of the camera, with some new content coming up now. But basically, that's how it started. And the team I've had to work with me has been phenomenal in making it all happen.
Thanks. What are the challenges that you can face trying to maintain actively a YouTube channel?
I mean, the challenge that I'm facing already is staying true to your vision, if that makes sense. When you already commit to a timeline of how much you want to produce and how much you want to connect with the people, because I don't want to ever get into a situation where I'm doing stuff just to do it, right? I want to do things that I care about doing, that I think is actually going to be of value to the people. And so you don't want to, let's say, diminish the quality of the content, but I also don't want to diminish my enthusiasm for doing the content, right? And so it has to be something that really makes sense, and that's one challenge. But the biggest challenge I'm currently dealing with, if I'm honest, is I've never liked this world. I've never liked it at all, because I feel like the world of debate and social media and reels and all of this stuff, it always takes things out of context. Everybody gets so wound up and it's us versus them, and everything is always missing depth and context and all of this. And I've always hated that, and now I'm playing that game. And it's an inner struggle to navigate that in the best way possible.
What would you do say?
I think for me, it's the general problem that we have with anything that we try to be successful at, and that is consistency and repetition. Guruji has said many times to us, whether it's something spiritual or something material, that we have to be consistent. And for many, many years being with him, one of the things that he would always tell me is, you get very excited about something like a shiny toy, and then you drop it. Right? You pick it up and you do it for a few months, and then you drop it. And so starting the social media things, it was the same issue. It was, can I be consistent? And can I do it every single week? And so in the beginning, that was a challenge. But then when I started to perceive it, not just as something that is giving to the world, but it's also a personal sadhana, a challenge to myself. Can I be consistent with something? Because I know with that consistency, Guruji's grace always flows. But the flow of grace is also dependent on one's effort and how much they're really going to go into it. And so it's been a really beautiful experience to see how being consistent also awakens his grace to reach more and more people. So I would say that's the challenge, but also grace is there in it as well if we are consistent with whatever we do.
My challenge, I would say, has many levels, starting from the very basic, which is a technical one. I was never so into these technological things. Like I speak to Swami Revatikaanta, not just that I wasn't interested in social media. When I came here, I had still a phone with buttons and all those things. So I would never have thought that I'm doing any social media. And now I have a camera and I'm recording, and the camera team or the film team is teaching me about ISO and about Shutterstock and about aperture and all those things. I'm like, what's going on? So there's technical things, how to record, how to edit. And then there's obviously the part where the inspiration of doing things, sometimes with the feeling, does it really matter? Because there's so much material out there. What do I have to add to the whole World Wide Web? And therefore the consistency to do it, to be truthful, to be enthusiastic, and to keep on going with it, with something which makes sense, with something which fulfills the purpose and invites or brings people to Guruji, to his love. And yeah, so there's different levels of challenges.
Now that you spoke about your content, we can watch the video that you made, like a highlight video of this year of everything that happened. So,
Well, after all the videos which Kishore produced, I feel like a little bit
no,
highlight video, but okay, I tried to put something together.
Self-produced video. Let's watch the video you produced for all of us to watch.
I would have never thought to make a YouTube channel because I'm not so much into these technology things. But because I found what I was seeking, or because I was found, I thought that's a small contribution I can give to this world.
Forget about it. You can never do it. Of course I can do it.
I wonder.
Prayer started. We need to go.
That's, yeah, very nice, very nice. I would say,
The best shot is Shrestha.
Shrestha.
He will always be legendary.
So, I
Prayer
would say,
started.
subscribe, smash the like button, and turn on the notification bell. Nice.
I must say this was the best shot I ever got. Shrestha doing fasting, being super tired, meeting him on the road in Almyra with a little camera, and he's just like completely in a different space. Prayer has started. We have to go. Super.
It's a great gift. And now that we're into the content, maybe we can watch Swami Revatikaanta's highlight video.
Jai Gurudev Rishi Radhika. Jai Gurudev Swami Kuru. Jai Gurudev Swami Akash. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I am a little nervous.
It's nice to be here. It's my honor, my pleasure.
What have been your experiences with Guruji specifically in Kirtan?
Experience the whole pastimes of Radharani. So it's, so this...
This is what my life has been waiting for. This is a summation, the climax of my life.
God loves the greatest sinner more than the greatest saint ever loves him.
They like healing, but they don't like hospitals. If you get my meaning. So they enjoy the practice of the thing. They don't like the institutions.
Institutions, particularly religious institutions, as agents of control.
I arrived on that day where I had to give my first exam. That was on Nietzsche.
And I have this heart pumping, and I'm like, what is it? Because I almost never had it before. I never had this problem.
To contextualize, easy to understand, because many philosophers are presenting their ideas in light of other people's ideas.
People is answering to what I'm doing with such an enthusiasm, with such a gratitude, that it's clear that it's not only me doing something.
Yeah.
It's clear that there is some invisible force behind me.
And you feel like you're participating in something almost. It's not like you are creating it. And I've had that experience. I had that experience so many times. I remember when I first stood up in front of a class of students, because Guruji told me to teach, and I taught. I felt like, whoa, what is this?
I don't like the feeling of going against something that I have I can't influence. So I can't influence the way the planets rotate around the sun, which is what I believe.
Where's the evidence, Swami Kuru? Where's the evidence? Actually, now I've been spending time looking at sort of house renovation stuff or whatever it may be.
Mow lawning or something like that. Lawn
mowing, mow lawning. Yeah, I do that sometimes too.
But then as we start talking, they're like, well, does this mean I have to renounce the world? You know, my parents warned me about this. They don't want me to be a monk. They don't want me to be a sannyasi. Because for Indian parents, it's the worst. It's like a huge curse. They're like, my parents warned me about swamis like you that inspire.
Nice.
Subscribe. We have, I think, one more picture from... Sorry, Swami Chida. No, yeah, please. I think... There we are. The path of a Swami.
You know, just this is a funny story. 10 years ago, Swami Revatikaanta had the idea of creating a podcast. And so we were spending some time brainstorming, and it was him, myself, and Swami Kuru. And so we all decided, okay, you know, we're going to put together a video as an example, and then we're going to come together and then evaluate it. And so Swami Revatikaanta put together like a really nice video in the back, you know, it's like two camera shots. Swami Kuru had like a really nice video as well. And then I decided that my video was going to be in my bed, laying down and taking a shot like this. And so we came together and we showed all of these pictures. And then I think we decided, you know what, it's not the time. And so we waited 10 years, and now finally all of the right equipment and the right things are in place to make it happen. So.
Okay, a very interesting question that they asked me is, how do you manage the balance between having spiritual, interesting content and being trendy in a way that you can reach more people? No? So how do you manage this deepness versus amount or versus?
I think this is a perfect question for Swami Aniruddha, because I don't know if you remember, but I'll never forget this one video where he came to me and he said, I'm going to publish a video and I'm going to call it Viagra versus Vairagya. What do you think? And I told him what I thought, and it wasn't positive, but he did it anyway.
He didn't care that much. He posted it anyway.
So I think he needs to talk to us about balance. No?
I think it's a great idea, because Vairagya versus Vairagya versus Vairagya, no, whatever. Viagra versus Vairagya, I think it's a great title. Like, my God. It was almost like came in my meditation. Anyway, how to balance the two things? I think I can't make any content which is just people-pleasing and trendy, because if we are not true to ourselves and to our path, then what we're gonna say? We're gonna always speak about spiritual topics, about Guruji. How to make it more trendy? There's luckily some people who know have certain skills to make a thumbnail with a proper title or something. It can be catchy, but in the end of the day, I think it just must be sincere and authentic, and that's what I think even social media nowadays is more about. Because if you try to be something, it's not going to work. Just be yourself, like Guruji says, and well, we have the right to action, never to its fruits, so we can only do our best in serving, and if it works out, great. If people get to Guruji through that, great. If not, we will still keep on doing our best, and it will be a memory, it will be an inspiration for us, it will be a sharing, and anyway.
I think for me, you know, it's. I'll be honest. I've had people say to me, "Oh, why don't you have a podcast with this person?" And it's a really, you know, great devotee or interesting person, and I just say no, because it wouldn't be sincere from my side. Like I don't have conversations with this person. I'm not about to have a fake one in front of a camera, right? And so I think it's been all about that for me. It's about doing something that I care about. Even now, when I've started now this new series where I'm going to be, responding to stuff that's on the internet, not necessarily, having a conversation with somebody. I'm doing it because I've always been annoyed by that. And so I want to just do something about it. But I'm well aware that in doing that, I'm attracting a different kind of response also. You know what I mean? And so there's always a balance to have there, and to do it in a way that I always keep in mind that I'm representing Guruji and everybody in the Bhakti Marga community. And that's not always easy, to just really toe that line. And that's, a balance that I'm trying to find. I'm going to have to find going forward. It's all very new and early, but it's only going to be things that I care about and I'm passionate about, and I can't do anything else. If I'm anti, clickbait thumbnails and titles and all of that stuff, because I'm not clickbaity as a person. I don't want to sell something fake. So, how to stay true, but at the same time be successful, because obviously I want to reach as many people as possible. So that's it.
Yeah, I think it's similar to how we share Guruji's message outside of social media as well, which is to be sincere to our own individual experiences. Because I think a lot of times we see certain people and how they share his message, and then we think that we have to be the same way. But we're never going to be admiring, right? We all have our own individual experiences and the way that we bring it across. And so for me, on social media, on podcasts, I try to be genuine to the experiences that I have, and then share from my place of understanding. And when doing that, it resonates with people, because it's not about necessarily big words or being very, very intellectual per se, but it's about just sharing our experiences and the love that our Guru has given us. And for the people in the world, they don't have that, right? They don't have a Satguru. They don't have an enlightened master. And so just to hear one experience, even for our minds, it might be like, oh, it's so simple, it's so nonchalant. But for the people in the world, that's everything. Like one experience with your Guru can have an impact on so many people. So I would suggest for those listening, if you want to start something, share your experiences with him. And that's, I think, what people will really resonate with.
Thank you. Thank you to all three of you. And I would say we will all try our best to support all your channels, and so that you can spread and reach even more people. So we will like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, right? Good. Now let's go for Kirtan.